Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555. Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge. Cutting into the matters at hand.
The views and opinions expressed by participants and callers during this program are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or policies of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, its management, or sponsors. The station accepts no responsibility for statements made. Good morning, St. Kitts and Nevis, and welcome to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me in the program for today. It is Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. When we open the phone lines, you may call us at 465-1977 or 1903. Or at 662-8674. That's 662-8674. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Let me greet those of you who are listening from other parts of the world. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. And thank you for tuning into today's edition of The Edge. We'll open the phone lines early, and we will begin taking your calls for you to lend your voice to the conversation at hand. But I'd like to share with you a few matters of national importance, beginning with an engagement recently had with Anguilla, where Anguilla engaged St. Kitts and Nevis on public health driven crime prevention model. As you know, St. Kitts and Nevis has been addressing the issue of crime and violence from a public health perspective. And this approach has been getting a lot of attention and recognition from other countries and other governments from across the region. And so representatives from Anguilla, a high-level delegation from Anguilla, they were in St. Kitts and Nevis very recently, and they met with the Prime Minister to look at that approach in terms of what St. Kitts and Nevis is doing and has been doing as it relates to the issue of crime and violence, and how they can collaborate, how they can work together so that the results that we are seeing here would also be seen in Anguilla. So Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew on July 14th, that was yesterday, welcomed a high-level delegation from Anguilla, led by Premier the Honorable Cora Richardson Hodge, for an in-depth engagement on the Federation's innovative and successful approach to reducing crime and violence. The visiting delegation included Her Excellency Julia Cruz, Governor of Anguilla, the Honorable Tara Carter, Speaker of the House of Assembly, the Honorable Shelia Rogers Webster, Minister with responsibility for education, social development and youth, the Honorable Ellis Webster, Leader of the Opposition, Dr. Bonnie Richardson Lake, Permanent Secretary, Shem Wills, Superintendent of Police, Hyacinth Augustine Bradley, Community Services Planner, and Rickeel Hodge, Director of Media and Communications. And so they met to look at, the meeting formed part of a regional knowledge sharing initiative as Anguilla seeks to adapt best practices in crime prevention, rehabilitation, and violence reduction. During the robust and interactive session, Dr. Drew provided a comprehensive overview of St. Kitts and Nevis's multifaceted crime reduction strategy, emphasizing a holistic, data-driven approach that treats violence as a public health crisis. The Prime Minister also noted that collaboration across ministries, communities, law enforcement, and mental health professionals has been critical. Notably, St. Kitts and Nevis has seen a 75% reduction in violent crime and the lowest homicide rate in more than 25 years since implementing these measures in August 2024. The Anguillan delegation expressed appreciation for the opportunity to observe and learn from St. Kitts and Nevis's experience. Prime Minister Drew reaffirmed his administration's commitment to supporting regional counterparts in adopting solutions that reflect the Caribbean's unique social context, noting, quote, "For a Caribbean problem, we need a Caribbean prescription. By sharing our experiences and strategies, we strengthen the entire region," end quote. The engagement marks another important step in regional collaboration on citizen security and underscores St. Kitts and Nevis's growing leadership in advancing progressive, humane, and effective crime prevention models. Joining the Prime Minister for the meeting were Attorney General Honorable Garth Wilkin, Cabinet Secretary Dr. Marcus Natta, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security Glenroy Blanchett, and Press Secretary Javon Liebert. And this meeting took place on Monday and looked at best practices and how St. Kitts and Nevis can share its experience with Anguilla. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge. Stay tuned, I'll be right back.
July 24th to August 5th. Love link on the man.
Welcome back to the Edge here on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today. We'll open the phone lines now and take your calls at 465-1977 or 1903 or at 662-8674. Call us and lend your voice to the conversation at hand. We're looking at the recent engagement between Anguilla and St. Kitts and Nevis as it relates to the issue of crime and violence. Here in St. Kitts and Nevis, the government has been, through its Ministry of National Security and the Citizen Security Secretariat and the Elevate program, looking at addressing the issue of crime and violence from a public health perspective and how we can tackle that issue. And so law enforcement agencies and other representatives from within the government went out into the highways and the byways to speak with members of the community as to what exactly do you believe we should do? What are your suggestions? What are your ideas in terms of tackling the issue of crime and violence? And listening, we gathered that both young and old, in between, everyone, they were able to share their ideas, their solutions as to what they believe would work. And it took some time. But I think anybody can positively say that you are seeing results. You're seeing good results. And I have always said from the beginning that this is not something that you can put a plaster on and expect to fix it overnight. It is going to take time, it is going to take effort, it is going to take money, it is going to take other resources. It is something that you'd have to invest a lot in. You'd have to invest a lot in. But in the long run, you are going to see the positive results and you're going to see how this is working. And so our brothers and sisters in Anguilla realized that we took a different approach to addressing the issue of crime and violence, which continues to plague, which continues to affect the Caribbean region in terms of our economic and social development. And so our brothers and sisters in Anguilla said, hey, St. Kitts and Nevis is doing something. St. Kitts and Nevis is making inroads, they're making progress in tackling the issue of crime and violence. And so let us meet with the people in St. Kitts and Nevis to see what steps are they taking and what exactly are they doing to address this issue. But of course, the community has to be front and center in addressing this issue. The community in terms of sharing their ideas, their concerns, and what they believe would be the best way forward in addressing the issue. And so Anguilla has come and they've decided that, we want to hear from St. Kitts and Nevis and look at some of the best practices here in terms of addressing that. So we'll open the phone lines now and begin taking your calls at 465-1977 or 1903. And our cell number is 662-8674. Call us and lend your voice to the conversation at hand. Now, still on the local scene, the National Cost of Living Task Force on July 14th unveiled the second installment in its Smart Spend SKN Public Awareness Series, an infographic titled Every Cent Counts, that illustrates how everyday savings can be redirected toward household priorities. Developed with the Consumer Affairs Department, the graphic has priorities for this month. You have school books, bus fare, those things, should be at the top of the list. But it visually connects smart shopping choices to meaningful life expenses, from school books to cooking gas. Every cent saved is a cent empowered for your family's unique needs, explained the task force chair, Dr. Marcus Natter. The release underscores the task force's commitment to empowering rather than directing consumer choices. In the coming weeks and months, the task force will deepen its public engagement with both local businesses and the public. These efforts reflect the task force's collaborative approach to addressing cost of living challenges, one that values the insights and priorities of all the stakeholders. Because of what is happening on the international scene, inflation is affecting us significantly. We have our first call for the morning. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Devonne.
Yes, how are you doing today?
Oh, not too bad. Small, just want to give God thanks for life, you know. Devonne, it's not a matter of spending so much money in crime, you know, and do this and do that. You say they got to spend money. Let me tell you something. If the law was enforced to do when these young men do illness to one another and they get caught and they deal with them accordingly, I believe that this thing should have done shut down a long time. You understand? It's not a matter of spending so much money. And upgrade the police force, upgrade the security system, put more cameras. When these guys they go and do the willful act like thief, break people place and do these things. You know? You see them on the camera and you catch them and you deal with them as. Because in other countries, they don't spend a lot of money. They put money in the security forces to conquer these young boys who are doing this heinous crime to one another and going and robbing and stealing people. You understand? It ain't not so much spend so much money. It's just that they got to step down and the law, do what they got to do. When they get caught, they deal with them accordingly. All right then. If anything else, I'll come back.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to the program. The phone lines remain open at 465-1977 or 1903, or cell number is 662-8674. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. Caller, thank you for your contribution to the program. I get the point that you are making in terms of, addressing the issue of crime and violence. What I would say is it is still important for the government or the Ministry of National Security to continue to invest. Let's take a pin. We have a call on the line. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yeah, good day, Mr. Cornelius. I'm calling you about a topic you're not speaking about. I have a situation in Hertfordshire. I've spoken to several people about it. I've spoken to Public Works. I've spoken to the minister for the constituency. I've spoken to people at the Mr. Cornelius' main office, and I have seen no results. I've spoken to Flo, no results. It seems I have to get one of the opposition representatives to visit in Parliament. There are some covers in the road in Hertfordshire, close to the Herefordshire Road. They are making a lot of noise when the vehicles run on them. I cannot get to job sleep over there. I have to go somewhere to sleep. I don't think none of these people would have really liked that to be happening to them. So I just raising the issue again. Because if they're not being done about it, maybe I have to ask one of these opposition members to speak to the speaker about it in Parliament. Because this is not right. And they continue to say that they're not aware of the situation. What is happening, you see? Flo don't want to spend the money to fix it. And the government is trying to figure out who is responsible. While they're doing all this back and forth and haggling, we the people who live in the area in the middle of this thing, they say it's supposed to happen. If the Prime Minister will live in there and others don't fix it. So I'm just raising it again because I think people are supposed to be able to hold rest in peace, especially people, well, anybody, everybody, but especially people who pay taxes, some taxes to the government. And even who ain't paying taxes, everybody's supposed to be entitled. So I just want to bring this issue to you so that the public could hear, and I'll see if I could get any response, positive response, because the minister, what his name, Duggins, in a way. I went to his constituency and I told him about it.
Mm-hmm. Have you received... Okay. Caller, hello? Hello? Okay, we lost the caller. Caller, thank you for sharing that with us, the general public. It's unfortunate that you and members of the community are experiencing that, and I hope that you get some relief very soon. It also sounds like, from what you're explaining, it also sounds like a public hazard, because if you're driving on the covers and you're hearing them, it therefore means that they may be loose. And so I'm hoping that the relevant authorities, those responsible for ensuring that those covers are secured, would take the necessary action in terms of properly securing them. But caller, thank you so much for raising that concern. It is 11:26 and you're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. But to go back to the point I was making from the first caller as it relates to crime and violence, I still think it is important for the government, the Ministry of National Security, to continue to invest money, financial resources into crime prevention and supporting the law enforcement bodies. And so when I say that, you're talking about the purchase of equipment, vehicles, different things that are needed for law enforcement agencies to carry out their responsibilities. So it is still important. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Devonne.
Yes, caller. Good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, the phone sounds noisy. Morning. And I am here trying to find the control for the TV. Now, the ingredients coming here is a good idea, right? But to me, the exclusion of the police and the defense force from the meeting, to me, doesn't make any sense. They have oh Lord, I'm still trying to find the control for the team. Right? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm listening to you, caller. Go ahead.
You heard who were in the thing? Permanent secretary. The police should be there to say exactly what it is they are doing. So at least it shows that we're doing something. Now, one thing, however, they seem to be a bit slow. You have had a number of shootings in Jesus, trying to find this they down in Harpatry.
Wait, caller, I'm getting too much feedback. Caller, hello?
I'll call back. I'm trying to find the control.
Yeah, turn off the TV. I'm getting too much feedback, so I could barely hear you. It is 11:28 and you're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Stay tuned.
Want to get away? The Uwali Beach Resort is calling your name. Whether you're dreaming of a romantic escape, a family adventure, or a peaceful retreat, Uwali has it all. Relax in comfort, enjoy fresh local and international cuisine, and soak up the sun on the best beach in Nevis. Take advantage of our staycation special, exclusively for citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis. Ready to book? Call us at 469-9735 or 662-9735. Email reservations@uwalibeach.com. And don't forget to use promo code ZIZ. Your escape starts now.
Healthwise on ZIZ TV, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Hosted by Dr. Malik Lescott, Dr. Jolette Woodley, and Dr. Patrice Lawrence.
Welcome back to The Edge. Let's head back to the phone lines. We'll take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Devon, and good morning to all. And we thank God for how He has preserved us so far, and it's good to hear the good news about the reduction in violent crime and crime generally. But I have to agree with the caller just before this, that yes, but the implementers will be the police, the defense force, and those law enforcement agencies. They can't be left out of a meeting like this. You know, to me, this is not good. We have to honor those and give credit to those who are doing a very good job. Thank you. Bye.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution to the program. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. It is 11:32 and the phone lines remain open at 465-1977 or 1903 or at 662-8674. Call us and lend your voice to the conversation at hand as we discuss the topic here, where representatives or a high-level delegation from Anguilla, they were recently here in St. Kitts and Nevis to meet with our government on the issue of crime and violence. We have a caller. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, Devon here, me again. Devon coming up as a young man, right? I remember coming up as a young boy, coming up. We had animals, we had mountain ground, and all those things. So we keep focusing and looking for the animals, them, agriculture work with the mountain ground. When we small going school, when school gets high days, we got a mountain go work in the ground. I'm saying to say that, right? I was saying that after the sugar industry closed, and then it make somebody's land and put somebody's locate the land to somebody's sugar workers, parents, you know, put them to farm these lands. Because they got something to keep them occupied, and they would not that because everybody wanted one money, and everybody remember they had the depot, the Simako and the depot, and them they could have created job for these young men and women who they right now some they're working on step and step. I always say that, and I believe that if these land was located to the people who work in the
Hello, caller. Okay, we've lost that caller. Please call us back, 465-1977 or 1903 662-8674. You're listening to The Edge. I think we have a caller. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
I'm back again. Hope you could hear me better this time.
Yes, caller. Go ahead.
Can you?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
All right. Now let me continue. Now we had a lot of shootings down in Hartford, that area down there. One today, one tomorrow, one the next day. It shows a failure in the system. In Jamaica, that what is called state of emergency for some areas, right? Because it is obvious that there are guns in the area. Because you can't have shooting today and shooting tomorrow and the next day somebody else. It's more than just catching them. Studies need to be done as to why, because a lot of them, they are related by blood. Maybe cousin, uncle, if you listen to the surnames. Some intervention need to be done. What do you think about that?
Hello?
What do you think about it?
Yeah, I hear the point that you've made, and I think the police continue they have stated that they continue their investigation into the matter. It is now something for national security or citizen security to look into in terms of finding out exactly what is the issue. Is it now a hotspot? What are the trends and so on? So it's definitely something that they have to pay attention to.
So it's more than what we're doing. Hello?
Yeah, caller, go ahead. I'm listening.
Now, let me get to the Anguilla story. I don't know if you know a number of these people who commit these heinous crimes in Anguilla are from St. Kitts?
No, I don't know that.
You don't know that?
No.
Ask somebody. When they can't catch you up here, they go down Anguilla.
Well, how you know that?
You know?
How you know that?
It is more than community.
But how do you know that? I'm asking, how do you know that?
It becomes a border issue. Now look, y'all fix this studio, you hear me? And your sound is terrible. Tell Flo phones can't take no wet, you know. Hurricane hasn't reached us yet. ZIZ spend all of that money to fix up the place. And the phone is just noisy. The service is poor. All right then.
All right, caller, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Family will be also remind you that in Jamaica people are joining people community and heart up the community, you know. So now because gonna bust in certain parts of things it means and the people inside they are doing. You can go in people community and heart them up. So we have to remember that. Then all right. What you know? The still online?
Yes.
Okay. They hear about police, the presence of Anguilla police collaboration or whatever, get advice. We want to make the header, I think it's the same man from England that's still in. We want to make them know that try invest and read out how our police from the police thing in Anguilla. Because we played with that here. Our police who are irresponsible, police who took excesses and brutalities from people, weed them out. Because them think they can cause bam bam. Right? Because we have them we have them.
Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. I have a grievance. Very grievance. I born here in 1950 and we went independent in 1983. I don't like it another Devonne. I don't like it. You know my grievance, I gotta tell you, right?
What's that?
Yes, I'm a very big. I am thinking about my country. I have offspring, and they seem as though they ain't gonna get peace land because one person took the land in 1994. You also do what they like with the land. And I got a grievance and go downtown with my placard one of these days, you know. You mean them out and bang them up and go. I got some great grand where they gonna live. They're supposed to pay foreigners rent when me great grandmother, me great grandfather.
Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Caller, we apologize for that. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, I said I never have a grievance, very bad grievance. I don't like what's going on. Understand me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm born here in 1952. I ain't supposed to go grievance. I went down the hospital there yesterday. A woman down there tell me she down there from 7. She got out the tree. She got into what's wrong with the country? The bank will lend so much people to go to study. Nobody come back, no surgeon, nothing. Our country grieving me, Devonne, it grieving me. Really grieving me. I really feel bad about the matter. And I think that it's time enough forward to get things going. To me. Because what happened should not happen. And it's not so. My father could remember no Devonne, that kind of radio, I had to go there and give my daddy water, I let him know so sun hot. He just supporting the route of the young Canaan coming up. Now, worry people about me and the attack, I talk what I know. Me talking about the business, I talking my own country business.
All right.
But I need to understand now. That's up there. It's a problem to me. They have so much rustiness on top of it. The way on the beach, and they need to understand that all the equipment where the money gone? Nobody know. It's changed. It's what? Right? I had 6 grandchildren, 7 great-grand. Well, nobody, only one of them gonna get piece of land. What happened to me forefather? Nobody who worked so hard. But when I was a young woman, I see people drop down in Carefree, all that now, so because of the heat. Nobody was smart in them days to walk with water, like no. And it's hot, and one person wasn't supposed to get all the sweetness out the country. And they know who they be. And it's not right. Oh, again, that we had a molasses thing up there. And when the crop goes off, instead they advertise, well, who wanted some, come and get some. They get a few people who no get, and they leak out the rest. You know, I now say I could have got some molasses out of the drum, because the molasses goes very thin. You would never ask your grandmother. When no sugar there in long time days, you better can a person who working at the sugar factory bring home some molasses for you. Because him sugar was cheap and number one, it was still like it tight, 5 cents a pound or so. And you take some of the molasses and sweeten tea. And you know about the molasses were very good for your body. It's selling right now in the supermarket. You must bring that with patrimony. They went to say they will study laws. And it's common sense run the world, not too much a high brain. Because I ain't got no high brain, and I'm more fit in my brain than them.
All right, caller.
The country bad, but the money for the equipment them.
All right, caller. Well, thank you for your contribution.
The hospital, medical, so bad. Long time you go up there with a chop. Every time I hear talking, you know, so stitch you up and you go back out. You mean from 7 till 3 in the afternoon, man, and another man tell me up there from 9 and up to when I leave in the morning to when I leave there after 5. He ain't get time to just to prick his finger. Shame on us. Shame on us. The person who took up the country after Mr. Simmons. What you went in there to do? Enrich yourself? You know who you are. I ain't got to call your name. How can we happy? How can we keep this unhappy? That's my one I agree with, you know. I agree with him because it hurts me. Hey, gone. I won't come back later.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hello, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning, Devonne. How are you doing?
I am doing well. And you?
I'm doing wonderful. Not too certain what the topic is. I think I overheard something about crime and Angola and something.
Yes.
Are we trying to mitigate crimes and things? Is that what we're saying?
No. Angola is here with a delegation which includes their premier, and they're meeting with the government of St. Kitts and Nevis to look at what we have been doing to address the issue of crime and violence and how they can mirror that in Angola.
Oh, okay. Okay, anyway, my little input is a little different to that. Crimes. Do you think a lot of action could be coming from Nevis? When I say happen, okay, like a channel to Nevis. Because we have that Wally thing. Nothing body there to record, no security, nothing over there. Man could go from thinking to Nevis, do what they got to do, or vice versa, and back on the boat 6 minutes, and you're surprised to know what happened. But then the neighbor could see you in the morning. So even if the neighbor hear a little alarm and say, they must suspect this person for that, you know. They said, no, me see this person already for the day. No, it can't be he. But to me, a lot of things could happen, could challenge you over there. So that little 6-minute boat thing. A lot of things I find could happen. A lot of things will get away today. I believe we need to look into it. I don't know what plans they have for the future in terms of that pier over there. If they could put some security or some sort, something to record something. I don't know. But to me, it's too free. It is different.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution.
Have a great day.
You too, as well. I mean, what you have shared, a number of persons have also raised that concern. What I would say is, I know the Coast Guard, they do their frequent patrols, and so even though there is no security physically at the pier, they would patrol the waters and police the waters then. And so I know that happens on a regular basis. But your concern and suggestion is one that has, I know, been raised several times. And I hope that discussions are ongoing, or that those discussions are nearing the end in terms of what exactly is going to be done to address that issue. We'll take it. We have any callers? Okay, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning. Okay, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here in the program.
Want to get away? Then Uwali Beach Resort is calling your name. Whether you're dreaming of a romantic escape, a family adventure, or a peaceful retreat, Uwali has it all. Relax in comfort, enjoy fresh local and international cuisine, and soak up the sun on the best beach in Nevis. Take advantage of our staycation special, exclusively for citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis. Ready to book? Call us at 469-9735 or 662-9735. Email reservations@uwalibeach.com. And don't forget to use promo code ZIZ. Your escape starts now.
Healthwise on ZIZ TV, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Hosted by Dr. Monique Lescott, Dr. Jolette Woodley, and Dr. Patrice Lawrence.
At ZIZ, we want to take a moment to salute our small business owners and encourage you to support them. Our small business owners are always hard at work providing quality goods and services to you. They also provide employment for many and can be counted on to give back to our communities. Today and every day, we salute our small business owners and we say thank you for the opportunity to provide advertising services to you. If you're a small business, call us at 465-2621 to join our family of small business advertisers. Call us 465-2621. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me in the program for today. We are winding down. It's just 10 minutes to the 12 o'clock hour. We continue to take your calls at 465-1977. We have a call on the line. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, Devon, me again. Devon, I want to know how Angola gets so violent, because when things happen in the OECS like Antigua, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Angola is to be peaceful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not hearing the caller. Hello, caller? Yeah, I'm not hearing them. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Okay. Yeah, I'm not hearing the call. I think we may have some technical difficulties with the digital line. Okay. The phone lines remain open at 465-1977 or 1903 or 662-8674. We continue to take your calls, and we will do so as we wrap up. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, but when I went in Angola in 1970, Shoot. I used to live down there now and again. You hear shooting up in Island Harbour. Shoot.
Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, Victor. You said that land is the basis of all land. And we don't say that every people who born take a piece of land, lease a house, and some people say that is not possible, but and they got may look on whole Italian right now. As a matter of fact, we will be having a lot of the problems that they are having. The problem. A lot of other social problems they wouldn't be having.
Mm-hmm.
Every people who born get a piece of land. My mother worked on Camefield. Justice Jam, another places. And my mother passed landless. Okay? Landless. In the board. And the future generations and make sure that landlessness and this we want to add on the shelterlessness by the people coming here from different places and occupying the spaces. Please find yourself and that the people walk up and down look out to end. The bond of the board. We need to start them here, start them feeding so.
Yeah, I'm not hearing that caller. Let's step back to the phone lines and we'll take this final call for the morning. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Devon, I want to know if it's migration to other people's country. That's why people consider this a bad.
That may be a cause.
But Devon, the phone let me give you plenty trouble.
Yeah.
Because a lot of noise in me here right now speaking to you.
Mm-hmm.
And something need to sort out. I think it's sound bad for the callers then, and for the public out there to listen. It's sound bad. So I believe that there is something better than this. Sort out the phone line then. But I believe some of these things are part of migration. Other people migrating to people's country, and they ain't nothing, no work to do, nothing to do, and cause some of these illness to come up in the country too. Okay then, Devon.
All right, caller.
You sort out the problem, the phone.
Yes, thank you for your contribution to the program. You have a caller? Okay. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. It's 11:55, and we're going to bring this program to a close. Let me say thank you so much for your contribution, and until next time, you guys stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Coming up at noon is our midday newscast. See you tomorrow, same time, same station.